Hi folks, it's Nika here. I'm product lead at Couple.io. Today I'm going to tell you about 3 flavors of Claude and how you can use them for efficient AI analytics. So the first flavor of Claude is Claude Chat, which you can see right now, and this is the basic interface that you will be seeing once you will connect to Claude. Just a small notice, I'm using here the desktop app for Claude, and in web version, most of the things are available, but I strongly suggest you to use the desktop version of Claude for convenience. So here you see that we have chats, and you can just start typing here. Here's the place where you can add files or photos or edit to projects. I'll cover this in a bit, as well as skills and connectors and plugins. And there is a function to launch web research if you need to have some deep research mode or something similar. And then web search to allow Claude to go and search the internet. I strongly suggest you to keep this on all the time, and you can use some specific writing style, but I guess I'll skip it for the sake of today's video, otherwise it's gonna be just way too long. Here is the place where you change your model, and I always suggest our clients and my colleagues to use the most capable model that's available here, and to always have adaptive thinking on. Usually the most capable model is Opus 4.7. It's the best for brainstorming, it's the best for all kinds of deep analysis and research, and for any kind of, like they say, ambitious work. Then there is Sonnet. This is your middle player, your good choice if you are running out of tokens very fast. And then the Haiku is fastest and most efficient models, and I suggest you use it only for very small things, or even don't use it at all when you're speaking to Claude from the interface. So a couple of important things to cover before we start. First, you need to go to settings, right? And here in settings, I always suggest to fill in your name and how the Claude should call you and what best describes your work, and put some instructions for Claude that would allow Claude to answer to you in some specific ways, right? So I have here some instructions about it being blunt, eliminate emojis and fillers and stuff, right? And there are some other preferences that you can select. What we really need to cover here would be usage. You need to go for this window from time to time and see about your current session, which is 5 hours limits, and then all models for your weekly session, right? Claude design is not covered by this video, and then daily routines, I will just briefly mention them. So the part that you need to take care of would be capabilities. And I suggest you to turn on search and reference for chats so that Claude could find your previous chats, and then also generating memories. If your organization allows this and if the nature of your work allows this, you should do it. And then if you were using something that was not Claude, you can start importing the data here. It will suggest you the prompt, like here, and it suggests it to copy into the chat with your other AI provider and paste results below to generate some starting memory. And then for the general access, load tools when needed is fine. Connector discovery, if you are looking for new ways to solve any kinds of issues, that would be also fine. Location metadata, I don't personally like it. For this, you need to have location turned on your machine as well. And then you need to allow artifacts, all kinds of them, and inline visualizations. Okay, so this is for the settings. Why do you actually use the Claude Chat? When you need to brainstorm, when you are not sure what exactly it is that you're looking for, when you need to look for something, to do some kind of web search, or you have some general questions that do not require Claude to create any kind of files, Chat is the best place for you. Ideally, you would use Chat first before you would understand what is the task in hand if there are any kinds of questions, right? So don't use bare chats. Use projects to save memory. I will show you the project that I'm using the most. This is Coupler AI PDM. This is my product coach. So what are projects? Why do you need them? Projects help you to scope everything that your LLM can do for you, because LLM, large language model, which is in our case Opus 4.7, is jack of all trades. It can do everything. And to make it do some specific things, it's better to narrow its scope. How do you narrow its scope, right? You create a project. So you give it an instruction. Obviously, I don't write them myself. I ask Claude to write those kind of instructions. And in projects, usually the instructions are who I am, what is it that I need Claude to do, what are the approaches, guidelines, and things like that, what are the expected tasks, what are the expected outcomes. So any kind of specifics are not the part of the project instructions. So project instructions should be short, and all of the details should go to skills, which I will cover in a bit. Okay, so here's my project instruction. I'm a product manager, and this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to share with you. This is the coaching approach, expected outcomes, and some additional details about my specific use case. Another great thing about projects is this knowledge base, the project files. So you can either add files or add text content or connect GitHub or some specific Google Drive docs. That would be the part of your instruction. To have GitHub or Google Drive, you need to connect those to Claude first. How do you connect them? Here in the left side navigation, you have this customize button, and it serves you for skills and connectors. Let's start with connectors. Connectors are MCP servers that you connect. And first and foremost, of course, I have Coupler.io MCP server, and you see it mentions all of the tools, and I have different policy for those tools. And well, you can ask for approval all the time, or you can allow everything, or you can even forbid MCP to forbid your LLM to use some of those tools, right? So I have a bunch of different connectors installed, and there are a ton of connectors in general. So when you would click here, you would see many different connectors, and you should connect everything that is every tool that you use, if it is not forbidden by your organizational admins. So these are connectors. Connectors connect MCPs, and MCPs act as hard skills for LLM, meaning that when you connect the Google Calendar MCP, for example, it will be able to create meetings, to check your availability and things like that. For Gmail, it will be able to check your emails, and it will be also able to send emails, read your emails, and things like that. Skills. Okay, skills are very cool thing because they serve as your LLM guides. So skill is a step-by-step workflow that allows your agent to do some specific thing. Let me show you an example here. So this skill helps you to create a live artifact, a part of Cowork that we'll cover later, based on Coupler.io data. So as you can see, I will be scrolling this. It has step 1, step 2, and all of the steps are very detailed, step 3, and it goes on and on and on, and skills can be quite long. They can have some reference files like here, and they serve as some repetitive work shortcuts. So for example, if you're doing something for a couple of times in your Claude instance, it is a good thing to create a skill and ask Claude to create a skill with you. All Claude instances have inbuilt skill creator skill that allows Claude to create skills. There are also plugins. Plugins are available only in Cowork and Code, and plugins are essentially a collection of different skills, prompts, and also MCP integrations. So it is just a bundle for easier work. Cowork is the second flavor of Claude. So what's good about Cowork? It is much more autonomous than Chat. Chat is purely reactive. You ask it something, it gives you some answer, but that's pretty much it. For Claude Cowork, it gives you much more. It gives you files, and also it gives you some of the coolest things like scheduled reports or scheduled queries, anything, and live artifacts. You can have projects here as well, and I suggest you do. And when you go to projects and create new project, you can select import a project that you've made in chat, which is very cool because some parts of the memory will be shared. Okay, I also have, you see, the project with the same name. And then there are these scheduled queries. Scheduled queries are very, very cool. I will show you one. So this is the briefing with our funnel data, and what is scheduled task? It is in fact a skill that has a schedule. And as you can see, it has some name, which is the skill name, and then description, and then the skill text itself, and then when it runs. So to create a scheduled task, you just ask Claude Cowork, help me to create scheduled task. It will ask you some questions, or if you already know what it is that you want to do, just give it to it. And let me just show you one of the older ones as an example. So this is how the Cowork chat looks like. It is a bit different. You see it has runs or to-dos. If you're doing something, it has some progress. It has some instructions, which is Claude MD more advanced thing than just project instructions, and some context that it found underway. So what is cool about instructions as Claude MD, and specifically about Cowork, you can assign a local folder on your computer or a shared folder on the internet, so that Claude would save files there and read files from there as well. And this is a much needed addition to chat, actually. So Claude Cowork can also spawn agents. Agents are instances of large language model that can use tools and skills in a loop until they will reach the goal. So for each agent, you should set a realistic goal, otherwise it will run until all of your tokens will be burned. And then you give it skills and you give it tools. So this is a Claude Cowork scheduled tasks, and also there are live artifacts. So yeah, it might take a couple of retries for us to refresh the data for it, but basically, oh, it refreshed already. Last run 19 minutes ago. So this is the fresh data. What are the live artifacts? These are persistent HTML pages that have MCP queries underneath. So this is very easy, and you can have them in whatever design that you would like to. This is just my design that I'm using. So you can ask again Claude to create live artifact for you, and you will have a very nice HTML that would live here, and you can refresh data anytime you want. And when you will open it, it will also show you the freshest data, because when you open it, it runs those MCP queries that are underneath, and it gets the fresh data for you. So for our Coupler.io dashboards, this is a game changer, because previously, if you were creating artifacts, they were not live and you needed to connect new data all the time. Now you can do this with just a click. And what is also cool is you can download it as PDF. Unfortunately, there is no way, or at least I haven't found a way to share it. These are versions, and you can reload it and pin and download as PDF, but maybe in artifacts you can, you see, for now I think you cannot share them, but maybe they will add it as well. And then there is the last flavor of Claude that I wanted to cover. This is Claude Code. Claude Code is a harness on top of Claude models, right on top of Opus or Sonnet or Haiku, whatever it is that you use. So this is something built for developers, but you should not be afraid of it, because it can help you quite a lot when you're building different things for data analytics and any other applications specifically. So it is more advanced version of Cowork. For many people, they don't even need code. What's the coolest thing about Code, I think, for data analytics is the ability to launch agent teams. So as I mentioned, agent is the LLM that can run in a loop using skills and tools until it reaches the goal. And you can have a team of agents. So imagine you need to have a competitor research and you would ask different agents to research different competitors and give you the result in the end. So this is very cool. And you can again chat with Claude about how agent teams are used. Claude is generally not very aware of its functions, but if the web search is allowed, it will find everything that needs to be done. And again, you can create skills that can be launched, and I will show you just one example of it here. In skills, I have this company research skill that orchestrates a multi-agent research team to produce intelligence memos on prospective data analytics consultancy clients, right? So this is something that, again, I use for my work as a product lead and coupler. So we have here an agent team with a research orchestrator, and all of this, of course, is also written not by me, but by Claude speaking to me. I guess it took us roughly 20 to 30 minutes to build this kind of skill. So we can see that the orchestrator, this is the main agent, and you talk to the main agent only, and then you launch all, and it launches all other agents. And it has two different stages of work. So pass 1, quick scan, which is ready in like 5 minutes if you don't have a lot of time to prep for the call, and then pass 2, which is ready in like roughly 20 minutes, and sometimes it may consume a ton of tokens, so be aware of that. If you're on free plan, I don't think that you would be ever able to launch agent team. Okay, so step 1, I just give it an input, which is usually the company website or name. And then it creates a certain structure in the assigned folder with raw data and 2 HTML files that I ask it to create. And then it launches agents for different cases. One would be research in marketing, another would be research in finance, and all kinds of things, right? And then if I will be satisfied with the result, I would ask it to go for a deep dive. Then the orchestrator would cross-validate and resolve conflicts, put in those labels so that I could be sure that all things are working properly. And then it will create some recommendations that I could leverage when speaking to my clients. And also there are some rules in each cases and some self-improvement things, because in Claude Code you can create self-improvement skills. And here is the list of all agents that should be spawned every time I use the skill. So first one would be company fundamentals, overview, size, business model and stuff, and what it needs to do under 2 of the passes that we have, and then financial performance, tech stack, data maturity, marketing channels, competitive landscape, industry data analytics pain points, and then in pass 2 it uses research from the pass 1 to generate company-specific pain points hypothesis, which is very important to me when I'm talking to my clients and I'm trying to figure out what is the best edge for this, right? And then if I would be sharing any kind of information about contact person or org structure, which I don't do for leads because we need to protect the data and we need to sign all kinds of agreements about this, and do not supply personal identifiable information without people's consent to the AI. And I guess that's it, folks, in terms of overview of all flavors of Claude. We'll be sharing more videos on that in our channel on how to use each flavor of Claude with Coupler.io MCP for the best AI analytics possible. So see you in the next videos. Goodbye.